Hello everyone and welcome back to Insurmountable here, where we are gonna, attempt to take on the final mission here, Explosive Force. But it's gonna be a tough one, and I'm not sure it's gonna go to plan. We're definitely gonna give it a go though. Before that, we've got to give our characters some experience. I expect this might take a couple of attempts. Something might go wrong, someone might die, we'll have to see. I think I'm going to try with the scientist first, and I'm going to increase his sanity considerably because we use sanity a lot during his playthrough. I'm also going to increase... I think I'll increase the effectiveness of canned food and oxygen bottles with him, as I think that's the best use. We'll leave the other skills for the other characters for the time being until really we know what we're kind of taking on, because if we die we're going to need to go again with a different character. I'm also going to increase cold weather resistance and oxygen death zone resistance. I think that's the best we can do. Let's give this a go. We also have to choose a route. A heavy blizzard, so the weather on this route is merciless. There are heavy storms on this route, so energy costs on all terrain. Or very thin air, oxygen. There's already very bad weather, which isn't great. I think we're going to go for very thin air. But that means we need to really consider what we're doing with our character here. I think the thing we want to focus on is getting ourselves an oxygen mask, which I think we do have. So that should hopefully help with that oxygen issue. And it still gives us 5 carry capacity. Something else, all we can really carry is a light radius. I'd wonder if we'd be better taking something else off to put something else in. I can put a red flare pistol in. You know what, let's put a red flare pistol in. Although the food might be useful, but it seems like those ones where it might be a bit of an emergency. Whether this is the last mission I don't know, but it feels like the last mission. We're certainly going to give it a go nonetheless. There it is. The solitary peak. And we are considerably further away, my goodness. So, what are we going to deal with here? You stare up at the sky. It seems that escaping the time loop will be more complicated than you first thought. Plus, that young woman is playing some kind of game and you have no idea why. You still don't really trust her. Despite that, it is now your job to take the amulet with you to the highest summit. The glowing, pulsing stone must break apart at precisely the point where the time loop is most vulnerable. It's the only way to destroy the temporal anomaly, at least in theory. And since that's your best shot, you have declared yourself willing to carry the hardest part of the mission, to climb and to survive. Reach the final mountain, the final challenge. We've got a long way to go yet. Let's just do that as a starting point. Yeah, we'll go this way just to start off with and see what occurs. Obviously we're not going to make it all the way up, so we're actually going to stop here. There's a cave there which might be quite useful. We do have to go over a little bit of dangerous terrain, but that's to be expected. Pretty much straight away, as soon as I can, I'll be tinkering, because that's something we can do straight away. And what do I want to focus on straight away? Probably something energy related, so let's do that. I can build a climbing rope, a climbing axe, or an improved climbing axe. I'm going to take the climbing axe because that's going to be useful in the right circumstances with height, so that's very useful indeed. Let's carry on. I wouldn't normally go straight up to this cave, but the cave is here, and it means we can sleep. We've only got 1 tent to last us, so we do need to be a little bit careful as to how we use these things effectively. We've also found some strange tracks. You pull your hood down around your face, and as you glance at the ground, you notice some tracks in the snow. The paw prints look like they belong to a bear, but the pattern is unusual, as if the bear was walking on its hind legs. Let's follow the tracks out of curiosity. The tracks lead you to a cave. A steaming kettle hangs over a fire pit. Next to this fire sits a figure draped from head to toe in animal furs. A hermit. Could this be your bear? Let's talk to the stranger. The hermit gazes stoically into the fire, his face obscured by a well-thatched beard. He ladles the contents of the kettle in a bowl and hands it to you. The stew has a strong odour that stings your nostrils. You can't help but think that if you're not careful, you might end up in that kettle yourself. Eat the stew. Hope for the best. You have no idea what you're eating, but it does you a world of good. You thank the hermit for his hospitality, but he won't make eye contact with you. He returns to the fireside. You decide this is a good time to head out. That's all our energy back from tinkering. Excellent. Excellent indeed. We do need to keep an eye on our sanity because we're already losing some for the time being. I'm going to follow the smell and see if I can find something useful. Nothing useful, but I do get a level up, and that's important. First, though, we'll sleep until daytime. Or near daytime, then we can carry on. Also need to keep an eye on my body temperature. All my stats are going to be going down during this final challenge. What can we get? Warm thoughts whenever I use a consumable item. I don't have that many of them. I'll take controlled breathing. Just having the extra oxygen means we're probably okay for oxygen for the time being. Other bits, however, maybe not so. For now, though, let's move to this item here. And then carry on our journey. We've still got a long way to the very top, but that's okay. That's to be expected. We're going to have to go kind of through this crevasse here. We're not going to stop at that cave. It's not worth it at the time. Kind of how far we are progressing, to be honest. It's not worth going for the cave straight away. It's just turned daytime. You reach the shore of a frozen mountain lake. On the embankment, you find what remains of a camp. You take a look around, but there's nothing useful in sight. Or is there? Just a few yards from the sheet of ice, you spot some unopened canned food. I'll give it a go. Oh, let's keep trying. Let's hope we don't have any issues. One more try. You made it. You collapse on the embankment and stow the canned food in your pack. It's going to taste good. 2 food. 2 food is very useful, actually. And that will also help with our sanity as well as our energy. That was well worth doing. Okay, we can get up there. It's not an ideal route, but I don't particularly see another option to get up there. I'm not thrilled by the amount of dangerous terrain there is. Is there something I can do to avoid dangerous terrain? Interesting. Because we've kind of committed to this path now. I don't really see another option. I think we're just going to have to go for it. And hope we're okay. Which we're almost certainly not going to be, but we'll have to try. We might be able to avoid some of it if we go around this way. Revenge of the Hermit. Oh goodness. Gusts of snow pelt your face. As a bear is up in front of you, a glowing aura surrounds the creature and it gestures at you to follow it. For a moment you wonder if you've gone insane, or maybe the hermit poisoned you and you're now suffering the consequences. It's also possible that you're long dead and the bear is guiding you to the afterlife. Oh boy. So you have been poisoned? This isn't quite the way you thought you'd go. You always figured you'd wind up buried under an avalanche or crushed by a boulder. A proper mountaineer's death. You look around. The bear stops near some shrubbery. Behind it you can just make out the mouth of a cave. You cast about it for some sign that you're in the afterlife, but you do find some very real provisions. Oh, that's a relief. Although our sanity is taking a little bit of a dip. Okay, we go for reserve energy. Minus 18 energy cost on all terrain. Take it slow or warm thoughts. I'll take warm thoughts because we've got quite a few consumable items. That should help us. I would hope anyway. We are going to have to go up this dangerous terrain. We don't really have a choice to do anything else. There's really not any other options, just with the way the terrain is. It's a bit of a loop everywhere. Your boots crunch in the snow as you walk across a snowy plain. Suddenly the ground beneath you gives way. You sink up to your neck in snow and can hardly move. I'm going to dig my way out. It's arguably safer. Oh boy. You skip the snow aside with your bare hands, but new snow keeps sliding to its place. The cold on your fingers becomes unbearable until you eventually cannot feel anything anymore. You imagine it eating into your extremities, the tissue turning black and dying. You dig like mad until you finally have enough room to move and heave your body over the edge. That was not a great start. Let's head for this item, and then we'll head for that cave there. Hopefully the relative solitude of the cave. I'm going to take a quick look inside the container. I don't want to do anything too crazy there, because I think that would just be worse for us. We can level up though, which is useful. 12% energy, time cost not to rain. 4 plus body temperature hour when moving. It's only for 24. Okay, that's for only 24 hours. I'm going to take stay warm because it's the better alternative. And we're going to head for the cave so we can sleep there. It's obviously the wrong direction, but it's still progress. You enter a cave. It's dry and sheltered from the wind. We can lie down and sleep for a long time. We don't need to use our tent. Wonderfully. We do need to keep an eye on our body temperature. It's already starting to have some issues. That being said, we did get ourselves stuck in snow, so it's understandable. Let's also tinker. Let's see if we can get some more some body temperature stuff. I can build a vacuum fast filter tea or some warm gloves. Let's take the warm gloves. That gives us fur gloves here. Excellent. I really think the scientist is a great character, to be honest. We may use a flask of tea should we need. That's a pretty dangerous route to go. I wonder if there's a safer route we can go instead. I think that's the slightly better option, is to go over the snow. At least I think it is. I mean, this is still just the very beginnings. You know, we're not even above 5,000 meters yet. I'm already having trouble, so hopefully it doesn't stay that way. I could go for that event over there, but I think I just want to keep pushing as kind of quickly as possible to the relevant area. Okay, let's... Oh, I've got myself stuck in a weird hole. Okay, let's get back to here where we can see things a little bit better. I'm also going to do this to hopefully get a bit of mad genius and get... I'm going to do body temperature to get some body temperature for 6 hours. At least that's the plan. Are there any caves nearby? Can't see anything there. There's an item there, but not necessarily a cave. I think we'll go left as opposed to right. There just seems to be more stuff in this general direction. And we might find a cave that we can use further down the line. At least that's the idea. Whether we're successful, I'm not entirely sure, but we've got to give it a go. Nonetheless. Oh, there's a cave there, actually. How long would it take us to get over there? Kind of the majority of the rest of the day, or the rest of the night. Oh no, there's a cave There's a cave much closer here. Excellent. That will do better, I think. And even if we get to the top, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the end. We don't know if it's the end. We don't know if we'll have to get somewhere after the final summit. We'll have to see. You enter the cave cautiously. A short way ahead, the ground disappears. There is a wide, deep fault in the earth. In front of you, stretching from one wall to the other. I'm not going to explore the fault. I don't really have the energy to do so. But I'll spend some time getting some body temperature back and some energy back. That being said, our temporary effect will run out once it turns daytime. And it is pretty much permanently snowy, so we're not going to really have a respite from the cold. But I think we're doing okay. We do need to keep an eye on our sanity as well, that's for sure. Whilst moving through rough, stony terrain, you step on a treacherous piece of rock, twisting your ankle. Increased energy cost is not the end of the world, but it does have an effect. A smooth, sparkling stone catches your eye. Its surface is covered in delicate, complex patterns of ice crystals that remind you of sapling, ferns and blossoms. A beautiful sight. We'll have a look at the ice crystals, because that gives us energy and also gives us experience, both of which are sorely needed. Let's go across this crevasse. Hopefully we can find a bit of a safer route to take. Seems not. Okay. I don't want to climb all the way down, all the way up. It's just too much in terms of terrain to kind of... It drains all that energy, and I don't think that's really worth it, to be honest. You enter an open hut. Glowing coals in the fireplace indicate that it is inhabited, but the owner appears to have fled. On the table behind you, you find an oxygen bottle, an offering. Your inner voice urges you to not only to take, but also to give. What will you leave in its place? Oxygen bottles are useful. We've got quite a lot of food. I will give a canned food for an oxygen bottle, purely because I don't want someone to come back and hit me in the head with an ice pick. Just when I'm trying to climb the mountain for the final time. That doesn't feel like a really very good thing to be doing, to be honest. But we'll keep on meeting people, we'll keep on seeing what we can do. A local man sitting up on a rock face waves you over. As you approach him, he holds out an oxygen bottle, his face contorted with pain. He says something to you, but you don't understand a word. I'm not sure we have time to figure out what's wrong with him. I'm going to take the oxygen bottle. Oh, that might not have been what we needed to do. You stowed away the oxygen bottle, nodded goodbye. The stranger raises his voice, but you're already out of earshot. I think we probably just killed that man, but needs must if we're here to... Because we're trying to break this anomaly, needs must. I'm sorry, sir. Our sanity is already getting pretty low. As your gaze wanders over the towering vertical rock face, your eyes caught by cast iron rings, or pitons. That's a lot of energy to use, but I'll give it a go. What they left behind? They left me some bandages. Wonderful. Which might actually be useful, because right now we don't have much way of getting sanity back. We did increase our sanity more. And it's only going to get worse as time goes on, so we need to start finding a way to get our sanity back. Is there a cave somewhere within distance that we can get to? Potentially. I'd rather go over the top, even though it's a longer distance. It just feels a little bit safer to me. We still got a long way to go, goodness me. But let's give this a go. There's a cave there. That might be our best option. We could go left, we could go right, but I think going right is the safer option. But first, you approach a canyon, notice the rope has been stretched across it. Oh, that's a big detour to take. I've got more ways to deal with the temperature than I do with the to do with the will, so I'm going to take the detour. And it's arguably a little safer, I would say. Okay, let's get to this cave. Let's rest up as best we can, because I don't want to use my tent until we get to the really high bits of the mountain. Still got a long way to go yet. You enter a cave. It's dry and sheltered from the wind. However, you notice a strong smell. I'm just going to lie down and sleep. Get some energy, get some body temperature back. We do need to think about our sanity, however. Today's actually sunny, which is useful. That's going to get our body temperature back. Let's see if we can gain some more sanity by speaking to some locals. Although I strongly suspect we killed that man earlier by accident by taking the oxygen bottle. Because I think he probably needed it for himself. You discover a large leather sandalbag lying on the ground. Right next to it you discovered faded hoofprints. You find some herbs in the bag, thank goodness. We need those herbs, to be honest. Do we go back down to get the other event? I don't think we do. I think we keep pushing. But the terrain here is not very kind to us. There's a shrine up there I wouldn't mind going for. The shrines can be very useful. They don't normally have any negative consequences either. Is there a cave? There's a cave up here, which we can attempt to go for. And again, that might be our best chance. I'm just gonna have that herb. I'm just a little bit concerned about our sanity. I can tinker. Is there anything I can do to help with my sanity? No, not really. What do I want to focus on? Probably body temperature again. Let's just see what I can build. Build some better gloves at the cost of energy and temperature. I think we'll do that because that gives us much better fur gloves going forward, and hopefully we can make it to the cave where we'll be a lot safer. But hopefully the temperature should now increase. Although it means we're going to be sleeping during the daytime. Is there another cave in a better location? Don't know if there is, to be honest. But I don't want to be moving during the night time, especially as it's a nice day today. There's a cave there, which we could make it to if the shrines work in our favour. So we might want to do that instead. There's a couple of shrines around, actually. Let's go. We're already heading this way. Let's go this way anyway. There's a couple of caves in this direction, actually. That's quite useful to know. We can always come back should we need, but I don't know if that's really our best option. Could do with finding a few more herbs, that's for sure. You reach an expansive plateau. A thick fog bank hangs over a depression in the rock. You stare into the grey mass for a while, wondering if it's concealing something. You find it odd that fog doesn't seem to be dissipating or spreading at all. I'll have a look at the fog bank, but I'm not thrilled about going in to check some things. I find some provisions. Any good provisions? It doesn't tell me. I don't think we can do Mad Genius anymore with the sanity the way it is. Analysis is useful though. That's interesting because it gives us body temperature. Although I imagine that's because it's stormy today. I'd like to make it to a shrine, and I did see one a little bit further away. That's way too far to go. Oh, this was not the best route to go. I'm going to have one of my items here just to give myself a little bit of a chance to keep pushing on till the next cave or the next stopping point. If we lose one of sanity, it's not necessarily the end, but it will have some negative issues going forward. Rock and debris as far as the eye can see. You bounce carefully on the boulders. We found a bunny scared us. I'm going to take analysis because that gives us some experience. It does cause some time to pass. I was hoping it would give us something useful. Controlled breathing. We're fine on oxygen, but we're not even in the death zone yet. I'm going to take intense movement just for a little while. That gets my body temperature back considerably, so I don't need to use the tea for the time being, which is useful. Sanity, however, is becoming a problem. And I really hope that this shrine can be what I need. I'm not going to take energy if it's there. I have to take sanity. It's really the only feasible option I have. And hopefully there's also a cave nearby. There's a cave down there. But I don't know if that's the best option for us to take. Shrine, please give me something useful. Warmth or sanity? I will absolutely take the sanity. It's not much of it, but it'll buy us a little bit of time. I know we're kind of the mad scientists anyway, but this is not ideal. Can I make it down to the cave with my remaining energy? No, I can't. So we're going to have to use our tent for the first time, I would say. We'll sleep for a long time, get some energy back, get some body temperature back, and then keep pushing once it's daytime. There's another shrine there, but there's such dangerous terrain, that's the problem. If I went around this way, that feels safer already. We've now entered the death zone, that should be okay. I think we're fairly well prepped for any oxygen issues. 35 energy percent cost more terrain. I'm actually going to take, when mending my wounds, just get that little bit of sanity back. It's not much, but it might be what we need. It might be what we need to push ourselves through. Because body temperature you're doing okay on because it's sunny and stormy at the moment, which is not great, but it's not... Can we really not make it down there at all? Oh, I see. There's a kind of circumnavigated route we'd have to take. Is there a better... I'd actually say, arguably, it's better to go up here instead than going all the way down and around just for that one little bit. At least that's what I would say. Although it's going to make our energy very low indeed. How much dangerous terrain is on the way? There's a little bit. I'll use one more can of food, although I'm using my supplies much earlier than I would perhaps like. But we're going to have to just give it a go, I would say. There's quite a few events up there, so that's something we can maybe go for. Let's make sure we actually get this shrine, because shrine can really save us in emergencies. While staring at the starry sky, you notice there it is, a shooting star. Energy or sanity? I'll absolutely take the sanity. There's a cave there, which we'll head for because it's on the way anyway. And it saves us having to use a tent. which is important. Very foreboding there in the background. Whilst moving through rough stone terrain, you step on a treacherous rock and increase energy cost. Not ideal, but I think we can manage. We've also found an abandoned camp. There's a couple of empty oxygen bottles. You can take the time to search the tents. I'll take a quick look. I found nothing useful, but I do get some experience, which is not necessarily a bad thing. We'll push to here and then we'll push to the cave straight afterwards. I'm just intrigued to see what I find here. I find a comet. Wonderful. Experience and sanity, thank goodness. Our sanity we're starting to make some progress with. I'm going to not do analysis at night time because that's going to lower our body temperature and oxygen. For now, let's just head for the cave. Cave is somewhat of a refuge at least, and soon it will be... the weather will be clear. I am going to sleep. It's going to mean I'm going to be going during the night time, or mostly traveling during the night time, which isn't ideal. That's okay. Am I going to climb down across the 4 sanity? I will. Hopefully that doesn't cause an issue. We've got a few... we just found an old backpack with nothing in it. We do get an injured hand. You're once again in the vast entrance of the cave. Let's lie down and sleep. We'll sleep for a long time, or do we sleep for a short time? I think we sleep for a short time because it's not that much more energy boost, but it means we can still do some movement during the day, which I think is important. Especially as today is clear. This is our best opportunity to move. Okay, mindfulness. When you reach a point of interest, gain 3 sanity. That's only a limited time effect. I could take it slow. I'm actually going to take mindfulness and hopefully get the sanity back as best possible. So I just need to get to as many points of interest as possible. That also helps with experience. I'm not going to say no. I find a hatch because I don't necessarily need to actually do anything with the hatch. I'll knock loudly, see what I can find. I found the mysterious hatch. Interesting. Aha, he's got a gun. Just as you turn away from the hatch to leave, you hear clattering and squeaking from inside. You take a step back as the hatch bursts open. A disheveled-looking man in a uniform appears, and you're now staring down the barrel of his gun. I'm going to try to calm the man down. Interesting. Before you react, the stranger lowers his weapon and smiles at you. You don't understand what he's saying, but his tone is friendly. He gestures to you, indicating that you should wait a minute. Then he disappears into the darkness. Is this man with occupiers? Was he left behind? A few minutes later, he appears and hands you some of his equipment. You thank him and head on your way. A hat, a warm cap. Interesting. Currently we've got an oxygen mask. But this is a high quality one. I'm just going to hold on to it for now. I don't necessarily need it for the time being, but I may do in the future. Can I make it up there? No, I can't because that's just a roundabout route to get there. So I think we're going to go left here. How long do I have on that temporary? Another 48 hours. So let's keep on getting to as many points of interest as possible. That will help our sanity going forward. I'd like to go there, but it's such a long way round. Your breath is taken away, towering in front of you on slip of bizarrely shaped masses of ice and snow, and several tents not far away. Who set up camp here? You call out, but no one answers. I'm going to check the slope, make sure I'm not going to die. Sight that brings tears of joy to your eyes and fills you with respect. As you're walking, when the ice spike often comes crashing down next to you, you stand rooted to the spot. Your body would have crushed if the ice hadn't missed you by mere feet. You decide not to push your luck and continue on your journey. I think that was the correct thing to do. There's also 9.5 sanity. It's very useful. We're starting to build our sanity reserves back up. Let's take the slight risk and go down to this event here, purely for the sanity benefits. And we might find something else useful as well. Oh dear. A swarm of flies hovers above a trench. Their buzzing sounds unusually loud and strange to you. Heart pounding, you peer over the edge of a trench. At the bottom you see a pile of human corpses intertwined, their faces covered in black spots. I'm going to keep my distance, look around the area, but I'm not getting close to them. The spots on the faces of these corpses are very strange. You better not get too close. You find a bag hidden in some shrubbery a little way off the trench. Must have belonged to one of the dead people. There are a few provisions inside. In all your pangs of guilt, you stuck the provisions into your pack. They don't need it anymore. It's needs must. Okay. Stay warm 2. Fresh air, clear mind 1. How's the sanity doing? Sanity is just about above 60. Clear mind would be useful, but we're not going to be above 60 sanity for the most part, really. I'm actually going to say stay warm, I think. I think we're fine on oxygen, we're fine on body temperature going forward. What I'm concerned about is sanity. There's a cave there, which we can try push to, and then it would be kind of the right time of day. Although we need to keep an eye out for our energy levels. Do we take the detour and go back here? If we do, we almost certainly can't make it to the cave. Although we probably can't make it to the cave anyway. Without some canned food, which I'm going to take. Because there's so many dangerous events here, I feel like we have to do our best here. Oh dear. Your upper arm starts to itch intensely. You scratch, but it only gets worse. As you peel back your clothing to examine the itchy spot, the blood drains from your face. A dark red fissure is eating its way deep into your skin, just like the corpses in the trench. You feel faint with terror. Take the skin out. If it's flesh-eating bacteria, you need to remove the infected tissue immediately. You bite down on a piece of wood as you slice into the flesh around the fissure. Tears stream from your face, the pain is indescribable, but you somehow manage to remain conscious. You pack the wound with enough snow to cool it, then you bandage your arm. You just hope you caught it early enough. But that was a big, big cost of sanity. I really probably shouldn't have tried to get involved there. We can get ourselves healed up. But let's save that bandage, we might need it for an emergency. That was not good. A desert of snow and ice stretches before you, radiantly bright as if you were staring into the sun. I'm going to stop and relax my eyes, hope that goes well. Ooh. That doesn't bode well. Our sanity's getting lower and lower. Okay, is there a safer route we can get to this cave? Because if this cave is going to kill us, it's not worth going for. That's better. Slightly less dangerous terrain. And then we can sleep there. And hopefully we'll manage to push on without too many issues. And I think we can climb up that little mountain there. I'm gonna follow the light. I'll see what we see. Because that gives us some sanity and some experience, which is useful. Now I'm gonna lie down and sleep. And I'm going to sleep the entire time, really. I want to get as much energy back as possible. Does mean we'll be going through the daytime into the nighttime, which is not ideal. We're now into stormy weather. But we're just going to have to manage, I think. For now, though, let's push up to this little outcrop and get those 2 events there. We've still got that mindfulness effect. Let's make best use of it as we can. But first, another dangerous event. You're walking through powdered snow and suddenly feel feet slip out from underneath you. A layer of smooth ice has formed beneath the snow, making walking almost impossible. A big knock in body temperature, but that's okay. We're actually doing okay for body temperature for the time being, which is useful. Because we've got those high quality gloves, I don't think we need to put the hat on. I'm going to push this shrine though, see if we can get some sanity back. You're trudging across the snow-covered plain when your boot crouches on something lengthwise along the ground. You're stunned to discover a thick black cable. Why is it here and where does it lead? Let's pull on the cable. No success, but we do get a little bit of experience. So for now, let's just push on to this here shrine. Please give me some sanity. Warmth or sanity? I will take the sanity. Sanity is much harder for us to deal with. And here we are at 7,000 meters. And there beyond us you can see the lonely peak, the lonely mountain. I'd say we're about halfway up the mountain, so we'll leave it there. We've come considerable distance, not that I can even see where we started due to the weather. But we've still got a long way to go yet, and if we can make it up, that'd be amazing, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we will. So next time we'll have to plan our route as best possible. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.